Germany. Good job. 48番、イガイドレイ、日本。Number 48, Red Hokkaido of Japan. Number 49, Viessmann of Japan. Number 50, Domen Krebs from Slovenia.
Simon Amann back in Japan and back in big fun here in Sapporo to jump, right?
いいですね。よかったね。はい、札幌。
You love to be here, not only jumping but living here as well for the few days you are here, right?
Yeah, that's what we learned so far. Besides eating, trying a lot of restaurants, and it was really a good time for me. Perfect. Also, the training here was interesting and demanding, but I needed to work on the flight, and I made quite a nice step.
Why demanding?
Yeah, the last weekend with the COC and windy conditions, snowy conditions, but I somehow found into the competition. The results were okay, close to the best. And yeah, it was a good start for these 10 intensive and very important days.
And the weather here for this weekend looks very good so far.
Look, I think this weekend now, yesterday was a bit challenging with head and back wind, but I think today is even calmer. Yeah, so what could we wish more than fair competitions and intensity?
Fingers crossed for you, Simon. Thank you so much.
いいですね。はい、ありがとう。
というわけでございます。競技中も計画したいろんなことをお伝えしてますので、はい、分からないことだったらぜひこのそうですね、はい、見れば分かると思います。はい、お願いします。さあ、それではこの後はこの大会に参加することができるジャッジの紹介をして、はい。パースアウトに進んでいこうと思います。皆様
Welcome to Japan, welcome to Sapporo. Continuing coverage of the Viessmann supported World Cup of Ski Jumping, and welcome to FIS TV. Many of you I know will be up in the early hours of the morning, but here we are, middle of the afternoon, coming up towards 3:15 for the first of two competition rounds. Little bit grey, little bit snowy, not too cold, -2, -3, but wonderful to be here on the North Island of Japan in Hokkaido, and there Sapporo. 2 million souls, the biggest city in this part of the world, the Sapporo Hokkaido district, and it really is an exciting place to be. Host, of course, of the 1972 Winter Olympic Games. And as you can see from these pictures, a wonderful place for food and drink, famous for its Sapporo beer, for its white chocolate biscuits. And also very much next month, February, for its annual snow festival, which draws something like 2 million tourists to come here. This part of the world usually gets quite a bit of snow. Well, with the recent successes of Ryoyo Kobayashi and Ren Nakaido, we're really looking forward to a decent crowd here. This is a massive stadium, 44,000 it can hold. And there you can see Ryoyo Kobayashi. Camel stock given the hill record here. But in reality, Robin Pedersen has actually reached out to 152.5 meters, and that was last February here in Sapporo. So very interesting to see what sort of distances we could have. The wind conditions at the moment relatively favorable, and are certainly looking to a good number of distances over 130 meters. The calculation line here at 123 meters. The hill size at 137 meters. The bookmakers have unsurprisingly made Doman Preutz a very strong favourite at 6-5, almost even money. Ryoyo Kobayashi at 13-8, second favourite. Stefan Embacher training well here, 12-1. Jan Hurl, 13-1. These might be quite generous odds. Daniel Stefanik, 13-1. Stefan Kraft, the most successful athlete here, 15-1.
Yeah, this is home, really home, like maybe 2-3 kilometers from here. This is my family home.
How important is it for you to come home at least once in a winter?
Yeah, it is. You know, everyone watching in the real jumping hill. So my friend, my family, my sponsor also. Then it's quite important for me.
Your shape is good this season. What are your expectations for this weekend here?
I don't know. Just do it the same as whole weekend. Just keep my mind and then just try to do good jumping.
Very good. Thank you very much, and okay, and good luck here in Sapporo. Thank you.
Thank you. Arigato.
The ever happy and smiling Naoki Nakamura. And there's a wonderful picture of this superb city. North, of course, of Tokyo, which is on the main or the South Island, shall we say. And there, as we pull back from our host broadcasters, you get an idea of the size of this stadium. And it really does look as if there's hardly anybody here, but it's so big. It's very deceptive, and the atmosphere is actually pretty good at the moment. So welcome to FIS TV. Welcome to our continuing coverage of the World Cup of Ski Jumping, supported by Viessmann, as ever, wonderful sponsors for the International Ski Federation and indeed the sport of ski jumping. We've had quite a lot of activity here in recent weeks. Continental Cup was here a week or so ago. Keiichi Sato of Japan coming back to winning ways ahead of Robin Pedersen, with Nicholas Bachlinger in third place. Simon Amann who's in very good spirits here, was fourth in that competition. Then we had a cancelled competition. Then we had a one-round, as it were, third competition, which Clemens Eigner of Austria was successful on. But more immediately, the Continental Cup across in China, in Zhangjiakou, the Olympic venue, and notable that Luca Roth of Germany winning both of those competitions boosted him up to 7th place in the Continental Cup rankings, which Clemens Eigner of Austria leads ahead of Sølvi Strand of Norway, Robin Pedersen in 3rd place. So we're getting ready to get ready for the start, the first round here. And the calculation line, just a reminder, they're 123 meters. And this is the situation in the World Cup. Domen Preutz with a very healthy lead, almost 4 competitions ahead of Ryoyo Kobayashi, his closest pursuer. But this is a hill where Ryoyo is well favored, excuse me, to do well. Stefan Kraft, 5 times a winner on this hill. The legendary Rod Yokosoi from Norway, also 5 times a winner on this hill. Ryoyo Kobayashi, 4 times a winner. And Peter Preutz, the older brother, now retired, of course, of Domen, also 4 times a winner on this hill. These are the 50 who've qualified. Go Yamamoto, very good Nordic combiner, a bronze medalist for Japan in that particular discipline. There's Luca Roth, who's had this recent success in Zhangjiakou. And then Simon Rahman, world champion here in 2007 in the Sapporo Dome. Yukiya Sato, who's been a winner here. We have a number of previous Sapporo winners in the lineup. Simon Rahman, Roman Kudelka, Yukiya Sato, and also Maciej Kot, who just about qualified. Stefan Kraft, I've mentioned. Ryoyo Kobayashi, and also Domen Preutz, who was a winner here in 2024. Where the blue and the red meet is the calculation line, and that is the 123-meter lines. If you happen to be joining us for the first time, just a reminder, of course, every meter beyond that line earns you a bonus of 1.8 points for distance. However, fall short of it, and it's a deduction, as you see the detailed checking of the chips in the suit to make sure that the suit is in its entirety is correct and is the suit that was pre-approved prior to the competition, and that none of the panels have been changed. This, of course, as a result of last season's suit manipulation scandal, which in a strange sort of way was very unwelcome, of course, but in another way is a blessing in disguise, because it's brought a real focus of concentration on making sure that the competition and the equipment and the facilities for everybody are fair and equal, and also a measure of sustainability, which really helps some of the smaller nations against the powerhouses. And, well, Austria very much to the fore again in qualification. Ryoyo Kobayashi, 139 meters, the winner of the qualification here, ahead of Domen Preutz. And then Stefan Embacher, Daniel Schoefernig, Jan Hurl, and Stefan Kraft in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th places in the qualification competition. So the crowd getting whipped up here for Go Yamamoto, 30 years of age, effective in Nordic Combined, bronze medalist at the World Championships in 2019 in Nordic Combined. And that's what he can do. He can get right up to the calculation line. So Go Yamamoto. Really promising start there from Go. 124 meters. Nice start to the competition. Keiichi Sato, well, I mentioned him a few moments ago. A winner just a week or so ago in the Continental Cup. Keiichi, 131 and 126.5 meters in the Continental Cup competition, which he succeeded in. Keiichi. Sato, 28 years of age, never won a World Cup. He's been as good as fifth. That was all of, what, 5-6 seasons ago. Incidentally, Noriaki Kasai didn't qualify. Managed only 110.5 meters in qualification, which is disappointing because in the second of the Continental Cup competitions, he was out at 29 meters and finished 11th.
The jumper is out of the gate. The jumper is back in the gate.
So out comes Keiichi, second time of asking here. Out onto the cold bar. There you can see this strong, inviting front wind. And again, another man up to the calculation line. This could be really competitive today.
126.5 meters.
そしてウィンドファクターが向かい風マイナスの16点。
The wind factor is
3.5 meters worth of bonus points. Not bad, spacing pretty good. Now the star marks, 17s. Not over generous, but you can see that deduction of minus 16 points. Significant, really. Alexander Schnitzschoy now for Poland. Couple of podiums back in 2024 towards the end of that campaign. And that's short of what's required, and that's already a big worry for this man. In his early 30s,
ウィンドファクターがマイナスの数値向かい風で以降マイナス
and this season still hunting for that elusive first World Cup point. 117-ish meters.
of the USA. From the USA, young talent here today.
So Eric Belshaw now for the United States. Not all of their boys got through in qualification. Kevin Bickner didn't make it. Ben Bayer, who showed up in recent times in the Continental Cup, he didn't qualify for Germany. Noriaki Kasai, I mentioned, he sadly didn't qualify. Neither did Dean Decker for the United States.
117 meters.
David Regal, Andy Orlaub,
16.0.
Mohamed Bedir of Turkey, Ipsioglu, his Turkish teammate, didn't get through either.
Bib number 5, Ziga Jansta of Slovenia.
Žiga Janka for the Slovenians now. Not bad at all. That's pretty encouraging.
揺れながらのフライトさあディスタンスが129
129.5 meters.
99.5 meters from the new face of the Slovenia team.
So this will be right up there,
0.
further than Keiichi Sato.
Next up is number 6, Yoshebe of France.
先ほど、ね、アイシスのインタビューに答えてくれた。チェ
Well, Jules Chevet, we're looking at a couple of talented youngsters here.
ファクターがマイナス 18.0。
Jankar for Slovenia,
3.5 meters.
sixth in the Junior Worlds last season. From that seemingly inexhaustible supply of Slovenian talent, and Jules, well, he's got to the calculation line.
Masa of Finland.
さあ31歳のジャンパー
Jankar for Slovenia, leading from Sato of Japan, Yamamoto of Japan in third place.
116m50
Still this very inviting strong wind, a lot of pressure under the skis, but that was poor.
さあ1本目はワールドカップランキング持ってない選手、ポイント持ってない選手、そして下位の選手から飛んでまいります。ここからはワールドカップポイントを取っている選手が飛んでおりますね。
106 meters.
106メーター、ウィンドファクターマイナス 10.5。
Wind factor minus 10.5.
So Jarkko Mata, I'm afraid that's going to take him out of the competition.
Bib number 8.
Only 106 meters
Slovenia.
for this man who's had a couple of top 10 chances, and ski tips really tight up in his face there. Got away with that. A little fortunate here, 122 meters.
22 meters. Wind factor minus 18.5.
122メーター、ウィンドファクターマイナス 18.5。
And this will be on the margins already in terms of qualifying for the final round. Zach Mogul only fifth,
9. Mackenzie Boyd-Klaus from
10th
Canada.
here back in 2023, and now Mackenzie Boyd-Klaus, who could really do with a decent result. 1 point in Garmisch on New Year's Day is all he's achieved so far at the World Cup in terms of points. Yet to finish in the top 20 on various visits here, and 112 meters.
112 meters. Wind factor
That's a
minus
real problem.
112メーター、ウィンドファクターマイナス 19.3。
まあ、若手のジャンパー、今季初ワールドカップ参戦の、ね、ジャンパーもたくさんおりますから、はい、さあ行きましょう。ネクストジャンパー
Front wind deductions are significant, as we see Vitaly Kalashnikov for the Ukraine,
Vitaly
who really has found his way this season. A couple of World Cup points, but actually he's also acquitted himself well in the Super Team Cup in Zakopane last weekend. But he falls short of what's really required.
116メータ
116 meters.
ー、ウィンドファクターマイナス 15.9。
Wind factor minus 15.9.
Two-footed landing, style marks will be punished. 15s, 77 points. It's not going to be enough today to earn him a place in the final 30. And here comes this 25-year-old German. 2 successes in the Continental Cup in Zhangliakov in China just recently. Luka Roth. Nice height, nice flight, and a little bit of bonus for him.
126メーター50、グッ
Junior World silver medalist some
ウィンドファクターマイナス
6
16.2。
seasons ago in Lahti.
16.2.
And there's no doubt that Germany really do need the new generation to come through, up into second place overall.
向かい風傾向、奥山です。
Luka behind Jankar of Slovenia. 106 points to 103 points. Geishi Sato in third place, and now JPN Marusiak of the Ukraine. Good to see him in this competition. Qualified. But a little bit short there, 123 meters the calculation line, and several meters shy, probably 2 or 3.
ウィンドファクターマイナス 14.0。
Wind factor minus
25 years of age,
just being here in the ski jumping competition this weekend shows
28th in Zakopane last weekend. First World Cup points of the season. Next up will be Kilian Payer for Switzerland in the all-white.
Bid number 13, Kilian Payer.
Got
from
1
Switzerland.
point in the World Cup competition here. What, 3 seasons ago, finished 30th. Now, almost looking to kiss the calculation line there.
124 meters.
124, 1 meter of bonus, but not enough to take the lead away. Janka of Slovenia, Luka Roth of Germany, Keiichi Sato, then Go Yamamoto. Tate France of the United States. Well, it's been a pretty tough campaign so far. Points in Falun, but not much since. That's a little bit better. It's not outstanding. This 20-year-old talent who had 3 top 10 finishes last season, junior world silver medalist in Lake Placid on home American snow. His season hasn't really taken off yet. Just shy of 100 points. And that's always a bit of a concern. Into 5th place overall, Felix Strunz of Switzerland. Another youngster, only 19. First points in Engelberg in the World Cup just before Christmas. Got a couple more in Innsbruck in the Four Hills. But is certainly moving in the right direction. Needs to get beyond the calculation line. And he's done that handsomely. Beautifully balanced throughout the flight. And this is competitive. 128 meters. Janka of Slovenia, 129.5, but this is the second longest distance. But as I said at the beginning of the competition, conditions inviting, coming out of gate 16. Second place for Strunz. That looks pretty good for qualification, but still early days. And another young Swiss, Yuri Kessler, given another chance by Bine Norcic at World Cup level. Like Felix Strunz, got his first World Cup points in Engelberg on a home hill. Not so confident coming off the table there. You could see the movement immediately he came off, and he knew that he didn't actually get the timing right. Can't really tell from that picture, but you can see the discrepancy of the skis. The symmetry isn't there, the movement is.
Win factor minus 13.5.
And those are very fair marks. 13.5 points coming off for front wind deduction. And now Hector Kapustik, he and his sister have managed to get some World Cup points. That's extremely encouraging. He's only 18, representing Slovakia. Points last weekend in Zakopane. Kapustik for Slovakia. Well, I said last weekend it's all education for him, and again, this is all about experience.
114 meters. Win factor.
Unfortunately, the transition didn't work. The meters aren't there. That's 9 meters of deductions.
Next up, bib number 18.
Felix Strunz of Switzerland leading the overall competition now from Luka Roth in second place, Keiichi Sato third. Well, that got a result, didn't it? showed up well in the trial round, and first man over 130 meters, Isak Andreas Langmo of Norway. In fact, the Norwegians in the trial round, Lindvik,
さあ日本では抹茶を帰って帰るというガイド
and Forfang, and Carl Geiger, I should say. Carl Geiger, I beg his pardon, 132 meters, not Langmo, but Carl Geiger taking the lead. And this is really important because Carl Geiger, of course, looking to achieve the qualification for the Olympic Games. This is Langmo. And he'll be disappointed with that. Short of 120 meters. Carl Geiger, by the way, in the lead with 116.4 points ahead of Felix Trunz. Luca Roth of Germany in third place overall, ahead of Keiichi Sato.
さあ会場にいる皆様にお知らせです。電光掲示板のね、投資が悪くて出てないので、FIS のオフィシャルの
Next up will be Giovanni Bressadola of Italy, who, like all the Italians, could do with a confidence-boosting result. Nothing really since finishing top 20 in Ruka, and that's a long time ago.
meters.
ウィンドファクターがマイナスの10.0
Wind factor minus 10.
さあポイントが 91.7 ポイント
Well, you've probably realised that Zhiga Zhanka has been disqualified for an illegal size of boots. They've just seen it on your screen there, and that's why Carl Geiger is in first place. That's incredibly disappointing. And now stand by for the man who won the Big Hill World title here in 2007, Seaman Aman. He's in really good heart. He's loving the trip here to Sapporo. 4th and 5th in the Continental Cup. And that's what we didn't expect.
さすがですよね。もうオーラがすごい。
そうみんな
That's really the first poor effort that he's had here, but it's going to be a very expensive effort.
ウィンドファクターマイナス 9.8
Wind factor minus 9.8.
さあ
Front wind was still there, only 9-10 points worth of deductions, but
And 13th position.
Simi knows that
ローマン・コーデルカ
he's likely to miss out on the final round.
Bib number 22, Roman Kodelka of the Czech Republic.
Well, the second of our previous winners now, Roman Kudelka, at the age of 36. Seaman Aman, of course, 44. One of his 5 successes coming here in 2015 on this very hill. Good from Roman. Really nice to see him up there being competitive.
126 meters.
Not exactly Mr. Consistent.
Wind factor minus 9.9.
Points in Innsbruck, points in Zakopane, points in Bischofshofen. Small numbers.
ここでカール・ガイガー選手はまずは2本目進出確定させています。
はい、ここからは2本目進出のね。
But Kudelka there up into second place overall behind Carl Geiger.
23
And Geiger and Kudelka have done enough already to qualify for the final round. Alex Insam now for Italy. Bressadola has fallen by the wayside, and Insam likely to join him. Insam, who
19メーター
picked up some better points in Zakopane, 19th last weekend. That was a season's best, but I'm afraid he hasn't followed up here. He has been as good as 15th here. That was last season.
Next up, bib number 24, David Kubacki of Poland.
昨日は23
David Kubacki now for Poland.
ちなみにこのファーストラウンドの得点は持ち越しになります
On the podium here, way back in 2020.
ポイントの合計で順位が決まり
That's
ます
the best he's ever done on a visit to Sapporo.
ダビッド・クバスキー35
yet to finish in the top 15 this season. For top 30 is really his record so far, and it's a little bit more encouraging.
125.5 meters.
ウィンドファクターマイナス14.9。
Wind factor minus 14.9.
さあぜひ皆さんライトベレード持っている方はホワイトの準備よろしく。
Kubatski, quite a big front wind deduction, 14.9 and almost 15 points, and that isn't enough to qualify as yet. Felix Strunz and Luca Roth into the final round, definitely, and now Sakutaro Kobayashi, another former Nordic combiner for Japan. Nice tuck position there for Kobayashi, and those are really good points. Sakutaro, mid-20s.
ディスタンス132メーター50。
132.5 meters.
Over 130 meters. Really good transition.
Wind factor minus 20.
Gets over the skis, holds things pretty steady. Interesting, 17s I would think would be pretty well the style marks he can look forward to.
Strong jump puts him in third place.
さあ現在3位。
Swiss judge 16 and a half. Lowest and highest taken out again.
Next up, bib
Goes third
number
overall and qualifies, and now Rok Oblak, this 24-year-old Slovenian. 3 times he's finished 21st this season. Yet to make his mark here. There's Robert Hogota, the head coach with the flag. Front wind has just taken us out of the corridor of tolerance at the moment. A little too strong.
ロックだとかハウスミュージック
ロ
聴いているという
ックとハウス好きなんですね。さあ DJ 玉が
Still on gate 16 at the moment.
ロックの意味が雲なんですよ。
雲
はい。cloud。
このロックオブラックの名前
そう、ロックオブラックの名前の意味が雲なので。
なるほどなるほど。
The gate signal is
さ
red.
あレッドシグナル。
And inevitably,
さ
a little pause required here.
手拍子よろしく。
The front wind just about 2.5 meters
To green. Let's move
over the knoll. A little bit stronger further down the hill, 3 meters.
up and the jump.
Then it drops off as you get down to the calculation line, but it's still really, really strong in the sense that you've got a lot of pressure under the skis. It gives you a deal of confidence.
さすがですね。
Rok Oblak
さあグリーンシグナル。
sitting patiently, but now on his way. Worth the wait, wasn't it? Now he's going to lose a fair chunk of
130メーター
points here for the front wind.
17.0。
Wind factor minus 17.
17 points to come off here.
非常にやっぱ高いですよね。
はい
いつもだったらビッグジャンプ
Puts
って
him
言
in
ってるんですけど。
second position.
さあ2位につきますロックオブラック。
Second place, though, nonetheless.
いきましょう。ビブナンバー27、サンドロハウスビルド、スイス。
Next up, bib number 27, Sandra Hausville.
Well,
of
Felix
Switzerland.
Trunz has already qualified. Simon Arman,
予選で
a really disappointing day at the office at the moment. Carl Geiger still leading. Sandro, who's really shown up solidly, and that'll do nicely.
126メーター。
126 meters.
ウィンドファクターマイナス14.6。
Wind factor minus 14.6.
125, 126 meters.
さあ現在のワンツースリーカールガイガー。
126 meters. Sixth place for Sandro Hausveld.
いきましょう。ビブナンバー28、ベンヤミン・オイスフォールド、ノルウェー。
Benjamin Østfold for Norway now.
Benjamin Østfold of
Another
Norway.
man in his mid-20s. Brilliant 5th place in Villingen on the big hill. last season. That's his lifetime best at World Cup level. And that's a pretty solid piece of work from Benjamin.
125.5 meters.
ウィンドファクターマイナス 13.8。
You really need to get over 130 meters here to be competitive. And Carl Geiger
Here's a Japanese
is the man who's done that, 15 times a winner. Never better than 5th here, and he leads the competition at the moment.
ライトブレードよろしく。ビブナンバー29、内藤智文、山口市役所、日本。
Top 10 for Östwald
Tomofumi Naito of Japan.
and Naito for Japan. Naito well, Sakutaro Kobayashi, that was encouraging, 132.5 meters. And this is not bad, not 130, but only a couple of meters short of that line.
Win factor minus 12.0.
And there are places to be determined for the Japanese team to go to the
Current top three
Olympics,
is
and
Kawaiga.
Yanni Batainen and Kento Sakayama, it's a really good partnership.
That puts Tomofumi Naito
Third
at
place
内藤選手ただ3位。
for Naito.
Next up, bib number 30.
Machekot
Here he comes.
just about qualified. Winner here in 2017. And just about scrambles over the calculation line, but not, oh, there you can see it, only 1 more meter of bonus.
2名ですね、すみません。小林咲太郎はもう通過決定ということですね。
Only 30 of the 50 jumpers will move on to the first.
124メーター。
124 meters.
ウィンドファクターマイ
And
ナス
just a message to all of you, if
-7.6.
any of you are following this on your computer screens, you will have noticed that the computer information is a bit out of sync, so apologies for that.
ちょっと食べたい。
オムライス。
This is the current state of play, and these are the men who have qualified.
Jumper.
Really good to see Felix Strunz and Sandra Hausviet there. They are about 6 meters off the pace, but of course, with the strong front wind, many meters can be made, many meters can be lost. All these men waiting in the wings, but they're the real disappointment of Jankar getting disqualified for the illegal boots. But it does underline the fastidiousness of Matthias Haffele and his FIS equipment team to make sure that all of the rules are being obeyed. Carl Geiger, who's been very much a tortured soul for most of the season, hails from Oberstdorf, this 32-year-old. And there you get an idea of this enormous stadium with its 44,000 capacity.
The top 20 jumpers are coming up
Hosted the
here. Last top 20 here in the
1972 Winter Olympics when Poland's Wojciech Fortuna was the rather surprising Olympic gold medalist. So Carl Geiger from Rock Oblak, from NATO of Japan, Kudelka of the Czech Republic, ahead of Sakutaro Kobayashi, Trunz, Hauswirth, Östwald, Roth and Kubatski, all through to the final rounds. On we go. Another Sapporo winner, Yukiya Sato. Well, if you want to go to the Winter Olympics, which is getting nearer and nearer in February,
マイナス 16.7。
Yukiya Sato, who had 2 victories in 2020, one of them right here on this hill,
Carl Geiger as a leader, current leader. Oh!
and 133 meters into second place,
来ました2位。
just behind Carl Geiger, about half a meter behind the German athlete.
Number 32, Maximilian Ottner of Austria.
さあ、強豪オーストリアから。
Maximilian Ortner for Austria. Austria, the overall strongest squad in the sport at the moment, leading the Nations Cup. Ortner Pretty quiet and smooth coming off the table there, but that's, what, mid-120s. 124, 125, in fact, for Ortner.
25 meters.
ウィンドファクターマイナス 10.7
Wind factor minus 10.7.
Ortner. On the margins of qualifying, but gets there into 8th place overall.
オルトナ現在
Some
106.4
11 points behind the leader, and now Harvard Granerud. This is going to be really interesting. Granerud,
Bib number 33.
runner-up here in 2023, not once but twice. That's his best ever result here in Sapporo. Quite a bit of commitment there. You could feel the determination that Halvor gave this effort.
128メーター
128
Well, this will
meters.
definitely be enough to put him through to the final round.
Wind factor minus 12.3.
But only really in Klingenthal this year in Germany have we really seen him put efforts together in both the first and the second rounds. He got a couple of top 10 placings in Germany, but that's really the best we've seen of him.
Jonas Schuster of Austria.
Jonas Schuster, top 20 in the World Cup rankings, this 22-year-old Austrian. And Andy Vidhersel will be very pleased with that.
Great distance.
Andy Vidhersel, the head coach of the Austrian team, 3 times himself a winner on this hill. Over 130 meters there for Jonas Schuster, who really has justified his inclusion with the elite Austrians and into first place.
That makes Jonas Schuster the current leader.
Bib number 35
Now, Timmy Zeitz,
Next up,
as I've said on many an occasion, which Zeitz is going to turn up. Indications are this could be a good day for him. Well, that's the commentator's curse.
122メーター
Timmy Zeitz at 122 meters.
ウィンドファクターマイナス 6.5
Wind factor minus 6.5.
Runner-up here in 2019, but no chance to be a runner-up today. And Timmy Zeitz,
Marius Lindvik, Norway.
well, 122 meters,
Marius Lindvik of Norway.
27
enough to qualify, but not enough really to throw down a challenge in the final round. Now, Marius Lindvik, best result of the season last weekend in Zakopane, 4th. The Beijing 2022 Olympic champion. Is he about to announce himself
100 メーター good
as he looks forward to the defense of his title? A little untidy through the flight phase, that will be reflected in the marks. But overall, not too bad.
までの2位につけるまで
Puts him in
Second
second place.
place behind Jonas Schuster, Karl Geiger down to 3rd place. And a big cheer now for Naoki Nakamura. So much local support for Naoki.
Next up, number 37, Naoki Nakamura of Japan.
Still that one podium in Ruka. Some 3-4 seasons ago, his only visit to the top table, so to speak. How good is that?
distance 134メーター
Well, he'll be delighted with that, and his fans certainly are. 134 healthy meters, and he's rock steady through the flight.
トップに立つか
Spacing is good, the back is not too bad, a little bit compressed, but the marks will be solid. Look at that, 4 marks of 19, new leader. Japan back in front. Austria second with Schuster. Lindvig is third, and now Forfang. Well, like his Norwegian teammate Marius Lindvig, he had his best result of the season in Zakopane last weekend. And now you can see what confidence he's brought into his effort here. Over 135 meters. So the distance is there. And so is the style, I would say. And he's got 4.19s. Tucks in behind Nakamura. And jury decision to go down from gate 16 to 15 because of the strength of the front wind. So Chris Sundal will get some gate compensation points to deduct from the front wind deductions.
All jumpers will now be minus 3.7 points. 3.7 points.
Sundal on the podium here. Not last season, but 2024.
Next jumper, bib number 39.
One of his 4 podium achievements. 2 meters of gate compensation for the shorter in run. Well, he's going to need every bit of those. It's good enough to qualify, but to challenge overall. 126 effectively becomes 128. So is he going to be in the top 10? Indeed, just 108.6 points. But that is getting on for 8-9 meters behind the current leader, Naoki Nakamura.
Next up, bib number 40, Valentin Faubert of France.
14th in the World Cup ranking so far this season. Valentin Faubert, a little bit off balance off that left-hand side, but he's got away with it.
Distance of 126 meters.
Faubert gets the gate compensation, so 126 plus another couple of meters, 128. But the star marks, he won't be getting 19s. 18th place for Faubert. Kubatsky is 20th, and Faubert just about qualifies, but he's a long way back, over 20 points.
Just 10 jumpers left here in the first round of the men's FIS ski jumping.
So the last 10 now, the highest ranks, without the likes of Andrzej Lanasek and also Felix Hoffmann. Kasper Tomasiak to go next. 12th in the world, this excellent 18-year-old who incidentally won't be ski flying in Oberstdorf for the Polish team. His dad, who's also very much his mentor and manager more than coach, looking after him, really proud of what he's achieved, and so he should be. Kasper running into trouble. Now 119.5 meters. Kubatsky at the moment is the last qualifier. He had 125.5. In fact, Keiichi Sato and Maciej Koz are also through to the final round.
Next up, bib number 42,
Now, Manuel Fettner. There was a time in Zakopane last weekend when I thought the dream might come true. He ended up in 3rd place, season's best. Solid work from Manu Fettner. 135.5 meters for this excellent 40-year-old from the Austrian Tyrol.
15.8. Amazing.
試合前はパンクロックを聞いている
おお、パンクロック聞いてる。
はい、ベテランです。
ちょっとテンション高めにして。ね。
結構音楽聴く人多いですね。
確かに。さあ行きましょう。ウィンナーメンジさん、ステファン・クラフト、オーストリア。
No Felix Hoffmann, as I mentioned, a little bit under the weather with a cold. Wish him well. And now Stefan Kraft, 5 times the top achiever on this hill. 5 victories, twice a runner-up, twice third. Kraft. Very big odds from the bookmakers to succeed here, and that's fair. That will give him some sort of a chance.
131.5 meters.
さあ、そしてですね、日本選手ですけれども、佐藤圭一選手も2本目進出です。
やばい、おめでとうございます。
Win factor minus 13.3.
インドファクターマイナス
That puts
13.3。
him in 4th place.
Stefan Kraft, a 15-1 shot with the bookmakers. Nakamura still looking strong and pleasing the Japanese fans. Watch out for this man, Stefan Embacher. 3 podiums, but he's really announced himself, this 2-time junior world champion. Good height, good flight, good points, good distance. Stefan Embacher is amongst the leaders.
134.5 meters.
インドファクターマイナス 13.3。
Win factor minus 13.3.
That's good enough to, I think, take the lead. This will be interesting. Look at the star marks there. 126.1 points. Ahead of Nakamura. Fettner in 3rd place. Forfang is 4th ahead of Stefan Kraft. That's the top 5. 5 points only separating the top 5. One Austrian to another, Daniel Schöffenig. 4th here last season. Again, we've seen him out to his right consistently this season. Have a look as he comes off here. That uneven pressure on the legs, taking him out to the right here. But the spacing is okay.
Puts him in 10th position.
Top 10 for Schöffenig, and well, that's 11 points off the lead, so 6 meters of deficit for Schöffenig, but he often counter punches in the final round. Philipp Raimond, 5th best in the World Cup this season. 7th in qualification. 5 podiums so far in his career. Well, it's not going to set the world alight, but he's done enough. Still coming out of gate number 15 to qualify, but he's going to have quite a bit to do.
12.3.
Second in Bispra in Poland earlier in the season, plus 10 top 10s. So he's really been a reasonable force to be reckoned with. Philipp Raimond just about in the top 15. Now Jan Hurl, 15 times a runner-up in his World Cup career. At his best, he's a threat to the ball. And there you have it. Jan Hurl is a player.
136 meters.
runner-up in Lillehammer, Garmisch-Partenkirchen, and most recently in Zakopane. Over 135 meters, 136 in fact, and the new leader. 13-1 the bookmakers would have offered you before this competition started. And now they're getting excited for Ren Nikaido.
48, Ren Nikaido of Japan.
Newly married, Ren Nikaido having the season of his life. 4th best in the World Cup rankings and realizing a lifelong dream to win a World Cup. That's what he did in Innsbruck on the Bergiesel. And he's in the mix. Work to do. 130 meters. Jan Hurl leading from his Austrian teammate Stefan Embacher. Naoki Nakamura of Japan down to 3rd place. 5 points separating the top 3. And once again, these athletes living up to the standard that we've seen pretty well all the way through the seasons. Really high quality performance. Now this could be interesting. Ryoyo Kobayashi reportedly once upon a time out to 154 meters on this hill. The 29-year-old, 37 times a World Cup winner. He did the double here in 23, he did the double here in 2025. 4 times a winner on the hill. Front wind just a little bit quieter. Good power coming off the table. But barely 130 meters. Ryoyu, 126.5 meters.
Win factor -5.9.
Still out of gate 15, so a little bit of compensation, but he's way down from where we thought he might be or should be. Winner of qualification yesterday. Only 9th. And that's 6 meters off the lead, 12 points. And so to the winning machine, Sister Nika, conquering in China in Zhang Liakov. Doman looking for win number 8 of the season. Well, it's not going to take the lead away from Jan Hurl.
132 meters.
Austria at the moment with Jan Hurl, Stefan Embacher and Manuel Fettner in the top 5. Stefan Kraft just outside. Jonas Schuster in the top 10 as well. And Doman Preots, 2nd place. Look at that very small deduction, and that is significant. So 1.3 points, half, 3/4 of a meter behind Jan Hurl and Doman Preots. Big brother Petter, 4 victories here in his career. That's how tight it is. The top 6 separated by 5 meters. Then the gaps open up. Carl Geiger will be delighted because this really the last opportunity for him to make sure that he goes to the Olympic Games in Milan Cortina, in Predazzo, of course. Disappointment outside the top 30. Who would have thought that the likes of Go Yamamoto with his opening start would be missing out, but that's a real tough thing to take. He was number 1 and he ends up 32nd in the ranking. We have 2 men who are equal 30th, Keiichi Sato and Maciej Kot, who have just qualified, but they are 30 points off the lead. Stefan Embacher underlining that his good form this season is no fluke. Jan Hurl, like an arrow, a dart. This was really impressive. Now, if he can put two together, who knows? It might be his 6th career victory. So, a really fascinating first round here in Sapporo. 2 competitions over the weekend here. And there, that gives you an idea. There's the hill size, 137 meters. It's a sort of safety guideline. But the hill record here, well, officially, it's given to the very excellent Camille Stock at 148.5 meters. That was a little way back in 2012, but Robin Pettersson, 152.5 meters, as I mentioned last season. So we're in the interval now. Final round here starts at 24 minutes past 4 in the afternoon. So about 15 minutes for the boys to recover, check back with their servicemen, watch the videos, and get ready for the final round. Wind conditions still pretty solid, around 2 meters per second of an updraft. And this is a wonderful picture. It really just gives you an idea of the humongous size of this stadium. Sapporo, no stranger to hosting big events. They were involved in the 2002 FIFA World Football Cup here. And it's a fascinating city. It's a city, actually, which has an awful lot of green areas, parks, and it's a really, really nice place. And it has extreme temperatures. It can be as warm as 36 Celsius here, but it can also be as cold as minus 28. What's also very interesting here is that all the schools in the Sapporo Hokkaido district, they all have skiing as part of their school curriculum. And I think it's really exciting as we look forward to the Olympics to see the consistent and improved form of the Japanese squad. Whether they'll be the force of 1998 in Nagano when Kazuyoshi Funaki won the individual title and Japan won the team gold, I'm not quite sure, but I don't think they're going to be a million miles away. The Austrians arguably still have the strongest squad, but Japan, if they can put it all together, well, it could be really interesting. If Ren Nikaido, Ryoyo Kobayashi, Naoki Nakamura are at their very, very best, then that could be fascinating. And then there's the question of who's going to be the extra men in the team. Naito could be, Sakotaro Kobayashi, Noriaki Kasai. Disappointing that he's not in today's competition. Hopefully he might be for tomorrow's, if they qualify. If he qualifies, I should say. There's even a suggestion, here he is in his early 50s, and he keeps saying that he wants to go on till he's 60. I don't think he has to prove that. We all have huge admiration for this amazing athlete who won a silver medal in Sochi, almost a gold on the big hill behind Kammersdorf. So there is confirmation, the second round. Not that far away, but we're going to take a little pause. to all of you who've got up early, many thanks. Hope you're enjoying the action here on FIS TV. An even earlier start for you tomorrow morning, with an earlier start for us here in Sapporo. So we'll be back in a few minutes' time to set up the final round. Fascinating. Jan Hurl, a whisker ahead of Domen Preutz.
gate of the final round is gate 18. Will start in less than 30 seconds.
さあこのファイナルラウンドですけれども、ファーストラウンド1本目の順位のリバーススタートとなりますので、30位の選手から飛んでまいります。さあ行きましょう。テストジャンパーがスタンバイ。大倉山ジャンプ競技場にお集まりの皆さん、応援する準備できてますか？声をください。
Are you ready, sir?
So welcome once again to FIS TV. Second and final round coming up here. And better fortune here than they have in Zhangjiakou in China, where the women's qualification has been cancelled due to the adverse weather. Nika Preutz looking for another success there, but we'll focus on this. The decisive round of Keiichi Sato and Maciej Kot of Japan and Poland, excuse me, locked together in effectively 30th place. 31 qualifying for the final round. Gate 19 for the start of the second round here.
Win factor minus 1.2.
さあ30位以内に残ったということはワールドカップポイントを取ったということですから。
Well, it's over the calculation line, but a long way back. Keiichi starting some 16 meters off the lead, likewise for Maciej Kot. 31 in the final round, but only the best 30 will score a World Cup point. The wind, still very much a front wind, maybe a little bit quieter. But Maciej Kot with 124 meters, edging or holding his place, suggesting that he might get the one World Cup point, but who knows. Keiichi Sato into second place. Next man down, Dawid Kubacki for Poland. Again, clearing the calculation line by 2-3 meters. Just a little bit of movement there just before transition.
Win factor minus 2.4.
Not the perfection which he's been seeking now for a couple of seasons. It's on the in-run where he's really struggling, holding his position ahead of Maciej Kot and Keiichi Sato, but early days in this round. And now Luka Roth, twice successful in Zhangjiakou in the Continental Cup in China, just literally days ago. This is tougher though, he's competing with the big boys. And that, I'm afraid, is subsidence.
Looked a little bit frustrating there, but that was 116 meters.
Once again, apologies if any of you are following on your computers. Not everything is working smoothly and efficiently. Luka Roth down into fourth place, but he's over 10 meters behind Dawid Kubacki. He'll be really disappointed with that. Valentin Foubert from France. You can see there the gap, 28.2 points, 15 meters off the leaders at the halfway stage. Now that, I was going to say, looked a little better than the first flight Foubert
126 meters.
ウィンドファクターがマイナスの 5.0。
Wind factor minus 5.0.
needed well over 125 meters to hold his position and hasn't quite done it, I don't think. No, second place to David Kubacki, 126 meters, matched his first round flight, but misses out on the lead for the moment by 0.6 of a point. Now, Benjamin Ersfeld, very interesting. He's got a really distinctive style. The skis, as he comes off transition here, look at the width of the skis. Quite a wide spread here for the Norwegian. And that's very similar to Foubert in terms of distance.
126メーター。
126 meters.
ウィンドファクターが
Only a toenail separating Ersfeld from Foubert after the first round in Ersfeld's favour, admittedly. And he's held on. Overtakes Kubacki and Foubert.
ここまでのトップ。
はい、さあ行きましょう。
Timmy Zeitz.
35、ティミー・ザイツ、スロベニア。
Very disappointing in the first flight. I'm expecting something a lot better. Could be well over 130 meters if he gets this right. Representing Slovenia, of course. That looks a lot better. Well, it's not 130. Again, it's round about 125, 126 and a half meters.
126.5 meters.
Similar to Ersfeld, similar to Kubacki, similar to Foubert. So it comes down to style. Just enough to hold his position, indeed, 221.8.
Making him the current leader.
Next jumper.
Gets ahead of Benjamin Ersfeld by almost a couple of meters at the moment. Things will change, and now Sandro Hauswirth. Very good to see him in the points again. He's finished 18th on a couple of occasions. A very outside chance of a new personal best if he does something really special. And another man around 126 meters.
126メーター50。
First effort at World Cup level in Sapporo.
マイナス 1.0。
Wind factor minus 1.0.
As I said in the first round, really encouraging to see the progress that he and Felix Strunz have made under the tutorship of Bine Norcic. Holding their positions at the moment, one by one. But who's going to shake the table? As somebody puts some really big meters down. Maxi Ortner pumps himself up here. Well, it's similar, maybe a little bit further, 127 and a half. So again, with no major errors in style, it's good symmetry of the skis coming down, keeping the arms still.
マイナスの 0.9。
The spacing's okay, 18. Indeed, and 226.6. Couple of meters ahead of Sandro Hauswirth. So now Felix Strunz to try and give the advantage back to Switzerland. Felix, 22nd place at the halfway stage. Would love to get into the top 20. And that's mid-120s for Felix.
ウィンドファクターマイナス 1.7。
Wind factor minus 1.7.
さあ、ホワイトブレードの皆さん、準備をよろしく。
Felix, 4th place at the moment, so Maxi Ortner with the advantage, and now big cheer for Sakutaro Kobayashi. As I said in the first round, the stadium is so big it looks as if hardly anybody's here, but several thousand are, and Sakutaro Kobayashi, good to see him back in the points. He's been a little bit in and out most recently, back in here in Sapporo. But he's rather let himself down there. Sakutaro.
120.5 meters.
Only small number of points for him on this occasion.
0.3 win factor.
He's going to tumble down the table. 8th at the moment. He's ahead of Machekot and ahead of Keishi Sato, but could be only a couple of points that he gets.
We'll now have a technical break with
So 20 to come. And this is the current leaderboard. Austria, Maxi Ortner in the lead, but the next group of athletes ranked from 20th place down to 11th. Roman Kudelka next to go, 13 meters off the lead. He'll be chasing Maxi Ortner. The difference between Ortner and Kudelka at the halfway stage, about 1.5 meters. Roman, who was a winner here in 2015, Maxi Ortner, well, he's not going to add to his podium score, but hoping that he's going to get into the top 20. The Czech Republic, Norway, Germany, Japan, Slovenia, Austria, all represented in this next group of athletes ranked from 20th down to 11th place. Here's Roman Kudelka, 13 meters off the lead at the halfway stage, but really good to see this Czech with a little bit of form. Fingers crossed that he can put two together. It's a long way to travel, and you really want to make it pay. Mid-120s. And Roman Kudelka, 19th in Innsbruck, 26th in Bischofshofen and Zakopane. His best results of the season so far. Kudelka holds his ranking position of 20th. Max Ortner will make way for Roman Kudelka for a few seconds in the current leaders circle, and now Chris Sundal on the podium here 2 seasons ago in 3rd place. Backwind, different conditions. Gate 19, and that's into the 127, 128 meters. 128 and a half. That's a good effort from him. Now, compensation. There it is, 3 meters worth of compensation to help him. And Sundal capitalizes. 5 meters ahead of Kudelka, so stretches out. And now Philipp Raimund. Didn't expect to see him this far back. He's 12.5 meters off the lead. Nothing between him really and Sundal. The green laser tells you where he needs to get to hold his position, to stay in the lead, and this is a couple of meters short of Sundal.
Distance 126 meters, win factor plus 11.0.
Advantage to Chris Sundal. So a little bit of a turnaround there. Raimund subpar on this particular day, and now Granerud for Norway. Twice a runner-up here. Could he possibly produce something special? '12th in qualification, but he hasn't hit the heights for a while. Backwind just a little quieter. Not enough.
Win factor plus 9.6.
Naito for Japan. First effort was a decent one. Well, Sakataro Kobayashi ran into trouble, and Naito has also, in a way, let himself down. He'll tumble down the table. Chris Sundal of Norway leading from Halvor Granerud into second place. Philip Raimond to third, and Roman Kudelka now off the podium. Now it's beginning to get a little bit interesting. Rok Oblak of Slovenia to come next. And Rok with a real chance of a personal best. Rok, who's finished 21st in 3 competitions in the World Cup. That's his personal best. This 24-year-old Slovenian, and a real opportunity now. Well, you could see how close the tips of his skis were to his face. Late in terms of transition, less than 120 meters. Conditions have got a little bit more difficult, but one or two who've fallen by the wayside here. From front wind to back wind now, very much. Daniel Schöffenig. Now, can he shake the tree, throw the gauntlet down? We've seen this so often from Daniel. Twice a winner already this season. 10 career victories. The first one in the opening competition of the season in Lillehammer. More recently, that excellent victory at Bischofshofen. 7 top 10s in addition to that victory for the man who really burst upon the scene last year, winning the overall World Cup, winning the 4 hills. It's hard enough to do it once, but to defend those titles, really, really challenging. But actually holding his end up pretty well. Schöffenig, a 13-to-1 chance with the bookmakers. And the wind at the moment, a little difficult to manage. And the jury, Andy Bauer of Germany is the technical delegate, supported by Masaki Oda, the chief of competition. And Nazim Nazirov of Kazakhstan is the assistant. This will get more exciting as we get into the top 10. The best 4 from the first round, separated by just 3 meters, and now the jury reacting, going up to gate number 21. Well, that's an extra meter's worth of in-run, but of course, that's the upside. The downside is the fact that there will be a gate deduction because of the increased in-run. There you can see it's 7.4 points, so effectively losing 3 meters, but look for the speed here from Schöffenig. An extra kilometer, and Schöffenig trying to reach out and get ahead of Chris Sundal, who had 128.5 meters. Schöffenig with a very similar distance, I think. Indeed, the same distance, and the wind and the gate ensure that Schöffenig goes into first place. Sundal drops to second, and Granerud to third. Philip Raimund off the podium. Another big cheer. Well, 2020 was his heyday. Still only 30 years of age, and Yukiya Sato still believes that he can make a difference. Stronger backwind, that's the reason for going up to gate 21. That was tough.
Wind factor plus 14.4.
Well, the next effort from Karl Geiger, absolutely crucial in his quest to represent Germany at the Winter Olympics. Karl Geiger, 23rd in Lillehammer in the second of the two competitions there. 27th in Ruka. Needs much better than those two results. And that's what I was afraid of for him. 114 meters, and that really
114 meter distance. Wind factor plus 13.
It's really frustrating that the winds turn around in the way it has, but it's there and it's pretty consistent at the moment. Schöffenig, Sundal, Granerud. Schöffenig had 14 points worth of backwind compensation. Marius Lindvig for Norway, of course. That looked pretty solid. Lindvig. Signs of better things to come. That was in Zakopane last weekend. This isn't as far as Schöffenig, but of course he has an advantage over the Austrian. Only about a meter though, and Schöffenig 128.5 meters. And a lot of backwind compensation. And Lindvig up into second place. Schöffenig, Lindvig, Sundal, Austria, Norway, and Granerud into fourth place, as you can see there. 5 meters separating the top four. But it's all about the top 10. And as you digest the positions in the top 10, the countries represented: Japan, Austria, Norway, Slovenia. 7 meters separating the best 10 efforts from the first round. Daniel Schöffenig looking to squeeze into the top 10 from his second round starting position of 15th. And it'll be no less a man than Ryoyo Kobayashi, lying in a somewhat disappointing 10th place at the halfway stage, to take on Daniel Schöffenig. And the difference between the two of them at the halfway stage, 2 meters in favor of Ryoyo Kobayashi. But here are the top 10. 4 times a winner on the hill, Ryoyo Kobayashi, to be followed by Jonas Schuster for Austria. Ren Nikaido, the winner in Innsbruck this season. Stefan Kraft, the most successful athlete on this hill historically. Johan Forfang, 4th here in 2016. Manuel Fettner, 3rd last weekend in Zakopane. Naoki Nakamura looking for his 2nd podium. Stefan Embacher, 4 podiums so far. And Domen Preutz hunting for an 8th win of the season. And Jan Hurl looking for his 6th career success. Jan Hurl, the runner-up on this hill in 2025. So it will be 29-year-old Ryoyo Kobayashi. Here he is out on the bar. Now the conditions at the moment, still from behind, still gate 21. Needs something special from the great man. 90 kilometers of in-run speed. Good effort from Kobe. Star marks will be 18s, 130 meters. Out distances Schoefernig. But we've seen him move up the order several times. I don't think he's going to get enough points to give himself a third success of the season, but it is better. 256 points. There you can see the gate compensation, or the gate deduction, I should say, mitigating the backwind compensation. Schoefernig drops to second, and Lindvik to third, and Sundal off the podium. And next to go, Jonas Schuster for Austria. Schuster, 5th and 6th in Engelberg before Christmas. His lifetime's best at this World Cup level. Very deceptive. Just about the calculation line. Jonas, really a youngster, 11th in the qualification yesterday. But this young man starting the day in 20th place in the World Cup rankings. Top 5 at the moment, with 8 to come, 13th place. The worst he could finish in. And next up, Ren Nakaido. Now, can Nakaido do a little better than Kobayashi? Kobayashi, Schuster, Nakaido at the halfway stage, all about 7 meters down on the lead. Strengthening backwind. Well, that's a lot better. That's close to 130 meters. And with his advantage, slim as it is over Kobayashi, I think Ren Nakaido might get the better of that particular Japanese argument. Ren Nakaido to go into the lead? I would think so. Deservedly. Indeed. 257.6, that's almost a meter ahead of Kobayashi. Good sportsmanship. And now Stefan Kraft to wake up the world in Japan. Adverse conditions. Those aren't the meters he was hunting for. Stefan Kraft still stuck on that 46 career wins. 5 of them right here on this hill. Nakaido, Kobayashi, Schoefernig, the 1, 2, 3. And now to Johan Andre Forfang. The last Norwegian challenge. The difference between him and Nakaido, 2 meters in his favor. Just remembering that Nakaido went to 129.5 meters. So with that strong backwind, he's still got to try to at least match Nakaido. He's 5 meters off the lead at the halfway stage. That will not be enough. So the podium stays the same. Nakaido, Kobayashi, Schoefernig, all moving up the table. Stand by for Manuel Fettner. Now, fingers crossed, this really, really good athlete at the age of 40. Could he do something special here? Manuel Fettner, 135.5 meters. in the first flight. That's a big ask to get to 130 this time. Well, he's not a million meters away, 127 and a half.
So the distance is 127.5.
Now the difference between Fettner and Nikaido
15.7.
is sufficient for Fettner
Where does that put him?
to hold his position. But in fact, he's dropped into third place. And one of the reasons for that is the style mark, 17 and a halves. Nikaido better in that department. Nikaido, Kobayashi, Fettner, the 1, 2, 3 shuffling off the podium. Fettner pushing his Austrian teammate off the podium. And now, big expectations for Naoki Nakamura. Excellent first effort from Naoki. Excellent second effort, new leader. Got the distance, got the style. Naoki Nakamura. 2022, the only time he's been on the podium. But he's given himself a real chance. Nakamura, Mbaka, Preutz and Hurl, the top four, separated by 3 meters at the halfway stage. And Japan at this moment will be 1, 2, 3 on the podium. Nakamura from Nikaido, Kobayashi in third place. Kobayashi, who started 10th, now can't be worse than 6th. Great for the home crowd, but Stefan Mbaka for Austria to try and spoil the Japanese party. ...127 meters, Nakamura 132 and a half. The writing's on the wall that Nakamura, sensing that with only 2 more to come, that he's on the podium for the second time in his life, and Stefan Mbaka misses out. Nakamura, Nikaido, Kobayashi, 2 to come, so there will be a Japanese athlete on the podium, whatever. There could be more. And now Domen Preutz bidding for an 8th victory of the season. Career win number 17 if he gets it. Already a winner here back in 2024. 132 meters is the target. Oh my goodness gracious me, that's over 140. Domen Preutz marches on, and there's no question about who leads the competition now. Domen Preutz flies. This is a brilliant piece of flying skill from Domen. 19 and a half, 19, 19 and a half, 19 and a half, 19 and a half, 285.7. He's absolutely demolished the field, 22 points ahead of Nakamura, who drops to second, and Ren Nikaido to third, and Kobayashi to fourth. They all are full of admiration, and now Jan Hurl, 70 centimeters his advantage over Domen Preutz. Austria versus Slovenia. Could he possibly get near Domen? Now the answer is not to be. Taking on the likes of Nakamura and Nikaido. Nakamura 132.5 meters, Nikaido 129.5 meters, and they're so tightly packed. Jan Hurl's advantage over Nakamura pretty slim, and you can see what's happened. Domen Preutz has got that 8th victory of the season. Doubles up here in Sapporo, 17th career success. Nakamura, a lifetime best in 2nd place. And Ren Nakaido back on the podium. Jan Hurl drops to 4th. Kobayashi up from 10th to 5th. Stefan Embacher in 6th. Manuel Fettner solid in the top 10 ahead of his Austrian teammate in 7th place. Schöffenig up to 8th place from 15th. Stefan Kraft 9th. And Marius Lindvig completing the top 10 for Norway ahead of his teammate Chris Sundal. Rok Oblak of Slovenia 19th, that's a personal best. Sandro Hausvier 20. Some fair points for him. Felix Truntz 23rd. Let me just check on that for Felix. That's a personal best in World Cup for Felix, so well done to him. Carl Geiger, though, slumping down to 27th place. And tomorrow will be a crucial day for him. Felix Hoffmann and Philipp Raimund are already qualified for the Olympic Games, but Wellinger, Paschke, Geiger all need to prove themselves. Now, tomorrow we do it all again. For those of you in Europe, a really early start. I'll frighten you. The first round, just checking on the time, it's 11 o'clock in the morning here, which is something like 3 o'clock Central European time. And delighted for the fans that Japan are solidly represented on the podium. But what can you say about Domen Preutz? 141 meters. Just absolutely demolished the field. Subject to Matthias Haffele's final checks, but 3 very, very happy men. Well, Domen Preutz really pulls things out of the fire. Naoki Nakamura really delighted, finding his form at the right time. Ren Nakaido showing that Innsbruck and previous podiums were no fluke. And that's why I think it's worth keeping a very close eye on the Japanese when it comes to the Olympic Games. This is just amazing from Domen. His flying skills are second to none. Roy Yokosoi, the second most successful man on this hill, would really admire that. And the Slovenians absolutely delighted. That was special.
Domen Preutz, congratulations. Another outstanding performance. Did you realize it was an outstanding second jump?
Yeah, I knew immediately in the radius that I felt really good. I felt the power on my legs, and yeah, I managed to do a really cool jump. Like from the takeoff, my hips are really high. I had a lot of speed, and even though it was backwind, I had a lot of speed, and there was pressure under the skis, and yeah, I managed to go safely to 141 meters, and yeah, maybe the force was really high when I landed because my clips went off. But yeah, we live for these moments.
The conditions were not as easy as it looked.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't usual Sapporo. Usually here we have a lot of front wind, but today the wind changed a bit in the second round. And yeah, it was backwind, but I still like that the air is really dense here because we don't have so much altitude. So yeah, I like the air here, I like the hill, I love the pressure in the radius, so I know what to do. And yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Fingers crossed. Thank you very much. Congratulations, Domen.
Thank you.
Yeah, victory of over 12 meters over Naoki Nakamura. It's interesting, you talked about speed there, but Domen 89.9, Nakamura 89.8, and Nikaido 89.5. Not a huge amount between the two, but as he said, when he came off, he had his hips high and actually had the flight and the height and brought the speed forward. And that's very much the key to his success, but he's also fantastically dynamic when he's in the air. So off to equipment control for hopefully not much more than 5 minutes before the official presentation here in Sapporo. Really important for this visit to Japan that the Japanese team are performing. To have 3 in the top 5 is really, really excellent. And congratulations to Kento Sakoyama and Janne Vatainen, because things are going in a very good direction. And that really is 2 very good efforts together from Naoki. But just enjoy this. Have a look at this. Comes down through the radius, through the compression. Unbelievable. 4 meters beyond the hill size. Not a hill record, but completely outdistances everybody. Have a look at this on this graphic that they have prepared, which will show you the relationship between the first, the second, and the third. And it's quite a distance, isn't it? So it was just under 400 points. It's now more than 400 points. The advantage that Domen Preutz has got. That's 4 big competitions clear of his nearest rival, Domen Preutz. Big brother Peder, who was so successful here. 2016, he won the overall season-long World Cup, and the way that Domen's going at the moment, he's very much heading in that direction. This will be played a few times. And just to reiterate that over in Zhangjiakou, the qualification was cancelled due to adverse weather. Hopefully the first round will get underway. There is a postponement getting later in the afternoon. There is a meeting very shortly to decide whether that can go ahead. And there you can see the journey back here tomorrow, and then Villingen, and then the Olympic Games. Villingen, of course, men and women will be together on the big hill in Germany. Really, really looking forward to that. But I'm also looking forward to tomorrow, given what's happened today here in Sapporo, and hopefully we could have front wind conditions for both rounds, but we are earlier tomorrow, so there is a chance of that.
Can you feel the love, everyone, from Naoki? He's sharing love through his coffee here in Sapporo. Please try it.
さあというわけで、いろんなコンテンツまた明日も
Well, the World Cup, I'll just bring you up to date with the Nations Cup. Well, Austria doing very well again, so they still lead the Nations Cup handsomely ahead of Slovenia, doing awfully well, but so much of that is due to Doma Preelts, Japan, third overall, ahead of Germany and Norway and Poland and Switzerland in the Nations Cup. So Doma Preelts, what a season he's having, Four Hills champion, and just seems to be able to raise his game as and required. Jan Hurl, second in the Four Hills, the force to be reckoned with at the halfway stage, but at the end of the competition finds himself, in fact, off the podium in fourth place. So it looks as if the checks for Ren Nikaido are satisfactory. Everything okay, that's good news. Just waiting for Nakamura and Doma Preelts to be thoroughly checked. And Matthias Havele is fastidious. It's not just the way, it's not just actually that they check everything in a way that's never been done before, but it's the attention to detail. And that's what Matthias has brought to the process. Really nice between coach and athlete. And Kento Sakayama, well, there were a few smiles and questions when he was first appointed as the head coach, but he really has grown into the task. And you can see from these boys that there's a really, really good relationship. Really nice picture there. You can just see how tall Kobe is. So I think we're just a couple of minutes away from the official presentation. Things look okay. They're just finishing the final checks on Doman. And on behalf of FIS TV, many thanks to all of you. I know a lot of you will have got up very early. Really appreciate your company. And this visit to Japan is really important for the sport. It was always the objective of Walter Hofer, now Sandro Pertini, to really ensure that this is a global sport. Next season we'll be back in Lake Placid, now that all the renovations have been done to the tower. But this is very good. This is very good for the Japanese team. And this will really build interest at home, particularly with Nozomi Maruyama doing so well in the women's tour. Nika Preutz, the dominant force. It seems Preutz is everywhere. Horst Nilgin just passing through the picture there. Well, Doman seems to be out of equipment control, so I think we shouldn't be too long in them actually making the official presentation. Another win for Slovenia. Well, we seem to be ready, which is good news. And for the fans who've come out from the city, well done to them, because they've been rewarded. And Doman is very much the dominant force at the moment, but it's really nice to see different faces on the podium. It really shows you that this is a competitive situation. At the moment, Doman seems to have the measure of all his competitors, but this is still a very, very big season. World Championships in ski flying to come, as well as, of course, the Olympic Games.
Enoki, one training together, huh?
Yeah.
Podium.
Yeah, and then 10%. 10%. I still remember 10%.
Okay, well, the good news is that there are no problems with the equipment control. The front three have been verified.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now commence the award ceremony of the 2026 Viessmann FIS Ski Jumping World Cup in Sapporo.
And the women's competition has been postponed, the first round, by 15 minutes at the moment. Waiting for another update on that situation in Zhangjiakou in China.
First place, Domen. Third place, Ren Nikaido of Japan.
Well, this is exciting times for Ren Nikaido.
The second place,
Started the day in
of Japan.
fourth place in the World Cup rankings, and now another podium.
First place is Domen.
That's podium number 4 for him, to add to that victory in Innsbruck. For Naoki Nakamura, the best result of his life to be second. For Domen Preutz, an 8th win of the season and a 17th career success. A second success for him personally here in Sapporo.
Winners' Cup and the prize money will be presented by Mr. Masahiko Harada, President of Ski Association of Japan. The first, Domen Preutz of Slovenia. The second place, Naoki Nakamura of Japan.
Well, some nice mementos and easy ones to take back home. And
of Japan.
President of the Japanese Ski Federation doing the honors here. And so to the national anthem of Slovenia to recognize yet another terrific performance from 26-year-old Domen Preutz.
The winners will be raised and the national anthem of the first place winners country will be played in honor of their achievement. Ladies and gentlemen, please take off your hats and turn to the main flag poles.
Well, another great day at the office for Domen Preutz, and we do it all again tomorrow. But we start a bit earlier. First round locally here in Sapporo at 11 o'clock in the morning. Now, I realize that that is really early. 3 o'clock in the morning, Central European time. For those of you watching in Portugal, the United Kingdom, that'll be 2 o'clock in the morning. If we could have your company, we'd be absolutely delighted if you can stay up for a late Saturday evening into Sunday morning. It would be terrific. Just a reminder, though, that if you're not able to be with us, then on FIS.com we will have all the highlights of tomorrow's competition. But the way things are looking at the moment, Domen Preutz will be hunting victory number 9 of the season. And we'll bring you up to date, of course, with the women's competition in San Liakov. Nina Lucy, my colleague, with her expert eye on that competition, which at the moment is suffering a weather delay. So from myself, David Goldstrom, and the FIS team, thank you for your company. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Do join us if you can in the early hours of Sunday for the second competition here in Sapporo. For now, though, from the North Island, from Hokkaido, from Sapporo, from the World Cup, from FIS TV, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.